Beginning our countdown at number 10 is an Instagram model named Natalieschlader who took it too far after comparing her life to a man picking rice in a field. Yeah. For some reason, she put on a white bikini and stood in front of a farming field where she posed for a picture of a shameless booty pic. The worst part about her post was her caption. It said, "Thinking about how different my life is from the man picking in the rice field every morning." For obvious reasons, people didn't like this post and they had a lot to say about it. People immediately started to call her shallow, entitled, and said that she should be ashamed of herself to give herself the title of an influencer. One user commented saying, "This is just my life is better than that guy, look at my ass." But Natalie said it was just a big misunderstanding. I don't think it was a misunderstanding at all. How did you even end up at a rice farm in a white bikini? Like, your picture alone doesn't make any sense. And imagine being the man working away in the heat, picking rice for a living, and you look up to see some girl in a white bikini taking pictures, bragging about how different her life is than yours. Welcome to 2019. Next up at number 9 is the Instagrammer who faked her trip to Paris. I'm only at number 9 and this list is already annoying me. A Swedish influencer named Johanna Olson got in hot water for trying to fool her followers with her weak Photoshop skills. She posted a picture on her Instagram which was an advertisement for the brand Pretty Little Thing. In her post you can see her rocking this adorable outfit, nonetheless, in a beautiful place that looks like Paris. She captioned it, "Fall leaves in Paris, love the city this time of year. Wearing a jacket from Pretty Little Thing, #advertisement." But if you stare at the picture for more than 30 seconds, you will notice the horrible Photoshop job and the fact that the entire background of Paris is fake. In fact, all of her Paris pictures were photoshopped with different backgrounds. One user commented on it saying, "Desperately trying to be a somebody," and another one wrote, "Oh my god, how can you say this is real?" After receiving tons of backlash and TV shows wanting to interview her about her fake traveling, she went online to explain that she was in Paris, but she just wanted a nicer background. Moving on to number 8 is a so-called influencer who thought it was appropriate to stomp all over plants at a conservatory even though staff asked her not to. People around her actually captured the behind the scenes of her little photo shoot and exposed her online for the ridiculous effort she put in to capture that picture. One Reddit user posted a picture online and said, "She was asked by multiple people to stop and ignored everything. Security eventually came and escorted her and her photographer out of the building. Both were asked not to return." See? It's people like this who give the whole influencer thing a bad rep. Users were not impressed and started writing their opinions on her pictures. One user wrote, "She should have Instagram deleted as punishment." What do you guys think? Should she be punished? And if so, what is a fair punishment for something like that? In at number 7 is a lifestyle influencer who was looking to get free personal training. Not only that, but she was looking for someone to pay her to train her. A company came forward and exposed the email that this influencer sent, saying that it would be an incredible opportunity for one of their trainers to train her for an upcoming IFBB bikini competition. In her email, she wrote that she was looking for a trainer in exchange for social media promotion, as well as a payment to her for doing the posts. One of the gym employees posted a picture of the email online and went on a rant about how influencers think they have a right to free products and services from companies. In her post, she said, "Well, honey, exposure ain't gonna pay the bills we have nor feed the families we have. Please pay the people whose services you need." Boom. Couldn't have said it better myself. So not only did she not receive a personal trainer, she also did not get paid, and her selfish request was viewed by thousands of people online. Swipe at the number 6 spot is a fake guru. You heard me right, apparently there's a fake guru on the internet who has been exposed as being a scam artist. The guru is claiming to be a wellness influencer who helped his clients. He acted as a wellness coach to them, whatever that means. The name remains blocked out in the articles, which might have to do with some legal issues, I'm not really sure. But his account had over 186,000 followers and he was always posting about his lavish lifestyle and just how much money he made every day. Like, he literally exposed his income. Screenshots surfaced online of the guru contacting a web developer asking him to make a new CRM for their marketing agency. When the developer tells him his rate of $50 an hour and that it'll take 3 to 6 months to do, which is pretty normal I guess, the guru says he will pay him in exchange for exposure on his Instagram. He said, "I was thinking you could make this for us and we can give you a shout shout out on our Instagram, letting everyone know how great of a job you did. There's a lot of businesses following us, that'll get you a lot of work. The conversation escalated quickly into an argument where the web developer does this as his full-time job, calls him out for making so much money but not be willing to pay. The post received hundreds of comments and the account was reported. Halfway through the list, number 5 is another influencer who tried to get free accommodations. One influencer named Elle Darby ruined the opportunity for every other influencer who was hoping to do the same thing. One of her emails got exposed online, showing that she wrote to a hotel asking to stay there for free in exchange for promotion on her YouTube and Instagram. She made sure to add in the fact that she has 87,000 YouTube subscribers and 76,000 Instagram followers. The hotel is called the White Moose Cafe, located in Dublin, and they emailed her back with a very sassy email. They listed their amount of followers and said, "It takes a lot of balls to send an email like that, if not much self-respect and dignity." The hotel and cafe received backlash online because some people came to her defense after she posted this YouTube video, crying and saying that she was exposed and that it was malicious. Because of that, the hotel released a statement that all bloggers and influencers are banned from their business. In a statement, it said, "If any of you attempt to enter our premises from now on, you will be ejected. P.S. Perhaps if you went out and got a real job, you'd be able to pay for goods and services like everybody else. Just a thought." Like, seriously though, these influencers make more than people at a full-time job. Give me a break, you can afford the hotel. Just saying. Here we are, number 4, with a reality show contestant who let the opportunity go straight to their head. A cook was exposed after sending a message asking for free food. Of course, the opening line of her message was, "Hi, I'm a contestant on this season of My Kitchen Rules." I don't even know what that is. In the email, she said that her and her cooking partner are heading to their area and would love to come for dinner on them in exchange for food pictures on her Instagram page. She finished off her message with a statement, "I've got a very high engagement rate." The restaurant posted her message on their stories and followed it with their reply, which said, "How about you do the right thing and pay for your meal like everybody else? The ATO, suppliers, nor staff care about exposure. If Katy Perry can pay for a meal in my restaurant, so can you." You know, I get that she was just hoping to do a little collaboration, but I feel like if you're in the food industry, like yourself, wouldn't you want to support other cooks as well in the same way you'd want support for your own restaurant? Just saying. In the 3rd spot is one that will make you shake your head. A Bachelorette contestant wants free rent. Emails were exposed online after one of Chase McNary's assistants reached out to a property and requested that he live there for free as a live-in social influencer, as they called it. They sent 2 paragraphs talking about how he is a runner-up contestant trying to win over JoJo Fletcher's heart in one of the seasons. They explain how many followers he has and how many views and profile visit he gets on an average weekly basis. To end off their email was a request that Chase is looking to partner with an apartment complex as a live-in social influencer, but there was nothing in exchange. They just said that since he is a Denver local, that it would be beneficial to their property. After the email was exposed, people had a lot to say, and the majority of them were saying that he is just a guy who got on one of many reality TV shows, so who is he to deserve free housing? Taking the number 2 spot on our list is an influencer who was exposed by her own dad. A girl named Sarah McDaniel was getting tons of attention after sharing pictures of herself showing off that she had 2 different colored eyes, one being brown and the other one being this very bright, piercing blue color. She claimed that she had heterochromia, a condition that creates a difference in the colors of the iris or skin. But her own dad exposed her after commenting on one of her Instagram posts saying that she was actually born with 2 brown eyes and that the blue eye isn't her real eye color. The infamous exposer Celeb Face posted a childhood picture that her own father sent in and captioned it, "Expectation, a poor girl with different colored eyes. Reality, an ordinary liar who had 1 eye color surgery and tells everyone about her real heterochromia now." People online were pretty mad, not gonna lie. They were just really upset that she would lie about something like that because some people actually have this condition. But yeah, she was exposed by her own father. Taking the number 1 spot on our list is the influencers who were shamed after taking sexy selfies at Chernobyl. People were livid after influencers started traveling to the site and taking insensitive photos to gain exposure, completely disregarding the fact that a real tragedy occurred there. Chernobyl is the site of the world's worst nuclear disaster, which resulted in a lot of deaths and also forced people to flee their homes. People called out these influencers influencers saying that they are disrespectful and insensitive. One influencer went as far as posting a picture on the site posing in her bra and underwear. A user commented on it saying, "This photo is disrespectful to the people who lost their lives here. How insensitive can you be?" She was just one of many people who were attacked and criticized online for their posts. I want to hear from you. Do you think they deserved it? Starting our countdown at number 10 is the bride who did a sponsored post on her wedding day. Because when every girl dreams of her wedding day, she hopes that she will be doing an ad photo shoot in her wedding dress. A Twitter user exposed the bride after she posted a picture in her wedding dress at the church holding a Bang energy drink and posting it as a sponsored ad. Now, I get it. She was probably thinking that it's the perfect way to say like, my wedding day is so crazy, thanks to Bang Energy for the help to get me through it. It's a clever marketing idea, but really? Is this the world we're living in now where you pose in a wedding dress for an Instagram ad? Instagram should be the last thing you are thinking about on the most special day of your life. People started to slam the influencer once the picture went viral. One user said, "Oh my god, what a loser." While another one said, "I hate influencers." Maybe this was all an attempt to help pay for the wedding, but if you were going to sell out on your big day, at least pick a more tasteful item. Any beauty product would have made more sense. Up next, number 9 is a wellness influencer who decided to do yoga on the Berlin Holocaust Memorial. Need I say more? No, but I will. A girl posted a picture of her standing on the Holocaust Memorial site holding a yoga pose and captioned it, "Yoga is connection with everything around us." Her post seems innocent, like she had good intentions trying to connect yoga to the tragedy that happened. But I feel like this is just one of those situations where like there's a time and place for everything, and this wasn't it. She was immediately slammed online with people criticizing her morals and sharing her post. One user wrote, "When they constructed that installation, they really didn't foresee the extent to which camera phones were going to contribute to the crapification of humanity." Another user chimed in and said, "Some memorials are to do as you please around them, while others are meant to remorse. It's important to know the difference." But she is not the only one doing it. Tons of people have now been exposed to their insensitive pictures. When you see pictures like these, you can't help but think that they only did it for the clout that it'll bring them. Swiping the number 8 spot on our list is the influencers who use the Miami fires as clout. There are too many influencers to name for this one, which is an annoying thought, but the majority of them have been exposed, and that makes me happy. It all started with one tweet which exposed 4 influencers for their posts about the California wildfires that actually had nothing to do with the California wildfires. The tweet said, "We want to thank all of you brave influencers who have donated completely unrelated thirst traps to the victims of the California wildfires." From there, people started to expose other influencers' posts in this gigantic influencer hating thread. So you're probably wanting some examples of what these influencers were posting. One man decided to post nude in a picture and captioned it, #current mood, seeing all of the unreal destruction in Malibu from the fire. It has always played such a central role in my work. I'm so sad for those affected and for the world to be losing such majesty. Another fitness influencer posted in a sports bra and spandex shorts saying, "Praying for everyone who has been affected by the Malibu fires. I've been seeing the updates all day and it's so sad." Yet for some reason, she picked a picture of her half naked and smiling. Girl. People were not impressed and slammed them for exploiting disasters for their own gain. Moving on to number 7, we have a mommy blogger who got upset that her son's pictures didn't get a lot of likes. Katie Bauer blogs about her life as a mom, and one of her blogs got hated on after she wrote about her son being the least liked of her children on Instagram. Why are your kids on Instagram? Another verified influencer on Twitter exposed her blog and wrote, "Oh my god, this Instagram mommy blogger is celebrating her son's birthday by writing about how out of all of her kids, he statistically performs worse on her Instagram, and she is worried that one day it will ruin his self-esteem." In the blogger's post, which has since been deleted because of all the backlash, she wrote, "Instagram never liked my munchkin and it killed me inside. His photos never got as many likes, never got comments. From a statistical point of view, he wasn't as popular with everyone out there." After everyone was annoyed by her rant, she tried to explain herself, saying that it was meant to show her personal growth and that the number of likes do not reflect her and her family, but no one is really buying that. At number 6 is a travel influencer who faked her vacations by using the same cloud in every picture. Fans started calling out 2B Sarah Via for editing her travel photos, noticing that she uses the same cloud formation in all of her pictures. It all started when a Twitter user gathered some of her photos and posted them saying, "This travel influencer spookily has the same clouds in every photo." After receiving some backlash, the influencer came forward saying that she has always been open about the editing she does with her pictures. She explains that she uses an app called QuickShot to edit her traveling pictures. She said, No big deal, I use it for better composition of my pictures when the actual pic has an overexposed sky. Can't believe how far my clouds went. If you need some, I can do a giveaway. Chumi also defended herself to BuzzFeed and said that she's made the joke to her followers saying that the clouds are following her around the world. But when she was exposed, a lot of people were shocked by it when they caught on to the editing. So who is telling the real story here? Either way, I feel like a travel blogger should keep the views genuine. I don't want to see a fake sky in the Bahamas, I want to see your actual view. Halfway through the list, number 5 is the influencer who faked her own Wikipedia page and sponsored ad post. An online blogger observes social media platforms as part of her job and says it's easy for her to know who is faking their fame and success. Without naming anyone, I guess she's nice, she exposed that one of her influencers she did work for created a fake Wikipedia page for herself and then posted it to social media and pretended that a fan did it for her. On top of that, this influencer would fake all of her sponsored ad content. She would actually buy the products but then pretend that they sent it to her for free, and then she would use the hashtags ad and sponsored and even tag the brand in hopes that they would actually sponsor her. After this was revealed on Twitter, people were baffled but also said that the effort was kind of impressive. They said she really was pulling off that whole fake it till you make it mantra. I just feel like you are spending a lot of your own time and money. For what exactly? Fake success? Doesn't make much sense to me. Here we are, number 4, with the influencers who paid a driver to take them to Instagrammable locations but pretended it was all part of their travels. Some genius came up with the idea that they knew influencers would totally be down for. They offer a service where they will drive you to all the hottest Instagram photo spots in LA so you can get all those Instagram worthy travel shots. A Twitter user exposed it online saying, "For just $39 per person, a stranger will drive you around and help take Instagram pics that make it look like you had fun on vacation." The site where you can purchase the package has a description of what they offer. Under their "What We'll Do" section, they wrote, "Don't lose vacation time trying to find the Angel Wings mural or figure out how to get a great picture of the Hollywood sign. We will drive you to some of the best photo op spots in LA. Your Instagram is going to look great after this. If you need help, we can take your picture using your own device. The experience begins and ends in Hollywood and will last about 4 hours but may vary depending on traffic." Do you know what it took me to get my epic Hollywood sign pictures? I woke up at 5 AM and hiked my ass 2 hours up the hill and then 2 hours back down. And I documented the entire thing because it was a legit part of my vacation. This just annoys me. Even if someone offered to drive me up to the sign just to take a picture and leave, I would have never traded it for actually living out that moment and experience. I don't trust anything online anymore. This is why people have trust issues. Alright, in our 3rd spot is an Instagram travel blogger who took some heat after posting a dangerous kissing photo. She goes by the username Backpack Diaries and it documents her and her man traveling the world together. But one of her posts ended up getting a lot of heat. The couple took a picture of them kissing as they hung off one of the blue trains in Sri Lanka, and yes, the train was moving. The trains are now having the issues that people are trying to recreate the same picture, which is incredibly dangerous and life-threatening. Fans were mad about the picture and one user said, "What an incredible display of stupidity and recklessness. Oh, and you should tell your followers it's fake or they might kill themselves trying to get the same shot." But the couple has no problem admitting that it is real and they are proud of their wild kiss. They said it actually shows the trust between them and how they always live on the edge. Literally. People didn't respond well to that either. One photographer wrote, "Completely irresponsible photography, poor show." Can't deny that it is a sick picture though. Next up at number 2 is an influencer who got shamed for trampling on poppy fields. An Instagram account called Our Public Lands Hate You exposed that irresponsible influencers will take pictures in some of America's national parks. One park in particular is the Walker Canyon Poppy Field, which is a huge spot for tourists because it is breathtaking when in full bloom. But people are getting mad saying that they can't have nice things because selfie-seeking bloggers ruin it just for a picture. One Instagrammer named Jacqueline Zarp faced the heat after she posted a picture standing in the middle of the field holding a handful of poppies. The public land account exposed her picture in a long post and said, "Here's a new low, not just trampling, not just picking flowers, but pulling the entire plant, roots and all, out of the ground. Zoom in, you can still see dirt dangling from the roots." While they aren't lying, you really can see the dirt. She is just one of many though. People have started a hashtag to call out those who have vandalized the area. It is hashtag Don't Doom the Bloom. So if you see anyone out there, Hashtag and expose them. Taking the #1 spot is a famous influencer who was exposed as a scam artist by her own best friend. Caroline Callaway has over 800,000 followers, which she gained from posting photos with these really long captions about her life using the hashtag AdventureGrams. But her friend of 7 years, Natalie Beach, came forward in a tell-all essay and exposed her for buying her followers and making fake sponsored posts so that she could build a fan base. She went as far as saying that Caroline faked being suicidal and that she actually helped her write her captions to make them believable. She did all of it because she had a memoir that she was trying to write and sell. Natalie exposed the truth, saying, "The real story she told me is she took a series of meetings with literary professionals who informed her that no one would buy a memoir from a girl with no claim to fame and no fan base." And so Caroline made one online. Her social media fame ended up getting her a signed contract with a literary agent, and she actually scored a book deal for $375,000. But after being exposed, the influencer backed out of her book deal, and now she owes her publisher $100,000 in resolution. Karma's a
In at number 10 on our list, we got Ryan ToysReview. In the fall of 2019, the YouTube channel Ryan ToysReview was slapped with a Federal Trade Commission complaint. The channel is run by Ryan Kaji's parents, and it is the most successful channel on YouTube. But according to the consumer watchdog Truth in Advertising, Ryan has been, quote, deceiving millions of young children on a daily basis by not properly disclosing sponsored content, which is against the law. Any sponsored content, video, pictures must feature some sort of disclaimer stating that the content is an advertisement, especially when it comes to children's content. Preschoolers are too young and unable to differentiate between paid promotion and regular content. On TV, there's a commercial break. In Ryan's videos, the paid promotions are disguised as regular content. As of November 2019, there's been no update on what consequences Ryan's channel will face, but his parents have changed the name of his channel to Ryan's World instead of Ryan ToysReview. Not really sure what that's about. In at number 9, we got James Charles's Met Gala comments. In May of 2019, James Charles made some entitled comments that were arguably the beginning of his historic downfall on YouTube. He posted this photo to Instagram of his look, with the caption, "Being invited to such an important event like the ball is such an honor and a step forward in the right direction for influencer representation in the media, and I am so excited to be a catalyst." Even now, the post is still up and it has almost 300,000 comments. James was harshly criticized for likening himself and privileged influencers as a whole to minorities, people who do deserve representation in the media but are only now beginning to get it. My favorite tweet response to James's post was this one. "Ah yes, the historically oppressed and marginalized class influences." I always read that tweet in a British accent, like a hoity-toity queen British accent. I've also been watching The Crown lately. In at number 8 on our list, Can You Fund My Vacation? Another Beautiful Day official are an influencer couple with 45.6 thousand followers on the gram. They shared a post to the platform that at first glance sounded like a sales pitch, but as you kept reading, it turned out to be them asking their followers to pay for a vacation. The post said, "Me and Ellie will cycle towards Africa and hopefully beyond. We want to take you on this huge adventure." Who? Me? They're talking about me! They're not talking about me. They continued, "A celebration of life as we ride freely across mountains, by the sea, and through metropolitans." Essentially, they were raising $11,000 from a GoFundMe, and it would go towards bike gear, food, accommodation when needed, internet, SIM cards, and to keep us up to date. I really need updates on how your vacation is going. Needless to say, a lot of people were not amused by this shameless attempt at a money grab. The plea made international news, and people flooded the comment section with things like, "Get a real job and pay for it yourself." Agreed. And at number 7, we got Freddie Bentley. In November of 2019, Instagram influencer Freddie Bentley, who has 101,000 followers on Instagram, went viral for saying that kids should learn less about World War II and more about climate change and Brexit. In an interview with Good Morning Britain, he admitted that he wishes he learned less about the most important event ever to take place in the history of humankind because it was, quote, "so intense." He said, I quote, "I don't think it needs to be in such a young way young children, like mentally, mental health, to be told this amount of people died for you. I just learned as a child it's so intense." That did not make much sense, but that's what he said. Yeah, you're darn right it's intense. 6 million Jewish people died in the Holocaust, and 70 million people died in total because of that war in gruesome and unjust ways. But even now, with all the education we get in schools, there's a growing population of Holocaust deniers, a growing ignorance that surrounds the Holocaust, Naturally, he got a fair amount of backlash, so he clarified his remarks in an Instagram post that said he wishes schools would focus more on current events. He said, I quote, "World War II needs to be taught in moderation to promote mental health and focus on teaching young people real life skills, and to prepare for current issues that are relevant to us, such as how to get a mortgage. What are the real impacts of Brexit and climate change for a future generation?" Like, I mean, I get what he's saying, but I also don't think that we should learn less about the Holocaust. In at 6 on our list, we got Emma Hallberg. We've talked about Emma a few times on this channel, but she's definitely relevant to this list. Emma Hallberg is an influencer with 314,000 followers at the time of this recording. From her posts, it's hard to imagine that she's anything other than mixed race. But in November of 2018, many of her followers who were black women discovered that she was actually a white woman. An old photo of Emma Hallberg was found and passed around on Instagram, and it shows a very different Emma Hallberg than her followers are used to. Emma defended herself after she got an insane amount of backlash, claiming she's grown more tanned over the years. Regardless of your opinion, Emma is one of the most famous instances of a concept called blackfishing, a term to describe influencers who are posing as ethnic. Halfway there now at number 5, we got bad taste. In September of 2019, a Russian Instagrammer, Xenia Chumi, I am not sure if I am saying that correctly, got a ton of backlash for a tasteless Instagram post that showed her reclining against the New York City skyline, One World Trade Center in the background, with the caption, "Making it dramatic since 2001. Hashtag New York Fashion Week 2019. Many people in the comment section of this post were saying that she should change the caption because it sounded like she was saying that 9/11 was dramatic. Oh yeah, and she posted this photo on September 11th at exactly the same time that one of the hijacked planes crashed into the Twin Towers. That's awkward. Within 10 minutes of posting the photo, her caption was changed to something far less offensive, which was "Making it dramatic for Fashion Week." In at 4 on our list, we got Kristen Hansen and the horse. Kristen Hansen is an influencer with nearly 6 million followers on Instagram and 1 million subs on YouTube, but back in the summer of 2019 she was harshly criticized for this photo she posted to Instagram. It shows her riding a horse wearing a bikini, but the horse is quite deep in the water. Some said too deep for it to be safe. The post garnered 8,000 comments, many of which were criticizing Kristen of animal abuse, and she sacrificed the horse's health for a photo op in a bikini. Other people said that the ocean is full of toxins that could have harmed the horse, and some said that a wave could easily injure the horse. I don't know much about horses, so I don't know if it's safe or not for a horse to be that deep in the water, but clearly a lot of people felt this way. Anyways, Kristen Hansen's representative defended her in an interview, saying that she's an animal lover who owns 2 dogs and she would never do anything to hurt an animal, adding the horse was safe at all times. The post is still viewable on Kristen's page now. It is quite a beautiful photo though, you have to admit. In at 3, influencer fillers. In November of 2019, an influencer was sentenced to 4 years in prison for illegally performing hyaluronic acid injections on her followers in both her home and in various hotel rooms around Germany. Court records also state that she performed some of these injections in clubs. Like nightclubs. Oh yeah, you wanna just go to the club, guys? I hear there's a girl giving injections. She was eventually outed after several of her followers complained of swelling or pain from the injections, which she also performed without wearing gloves or a mask. Hella unsanitary, people. It turns out that she earned around $500,000 from these illegal injections. $500,000 that she didn't pay tax on. So she was ordered to pay around $73,000 in addition to her 4-year prison sentence. In at 2 on our list, Kylie and Kendall Jenner's t-shirts. The Jenner sisters were called out in July of 2017 for a new line of t-shirts they had created, featuring their faces superimposed on top of images of the Notorious B.I.G. and Tupac Shakur. They did not have the permission of the deceased rappers' families to use their images, and especially not so disrespectfully. At the time, Valletta Wallace, Biggie's mother, criticized the Jenners and threatened legal action. The shirts were being sold for $125 each, yet the family wasn't even contacted. Even Sharon Osbourne tweeted at the time, "Girls, you haven't earned the right to put your face with musical icons. Stick to what you know, lip gloss." Sharon Osbourne out here serving some tape! The Jenner sisters were forced to pull the line of t-shirts after the backlash, and honestly, yeah, you should do that. That's very bad. It's a step too far. And at number 1 on our list, we got the Auschwitz Influencers. I can't even believe that Auschwitz and influencers are being featured in the same sentence, but here we go. Auschwitz and influencers are 2 words that should never go together. Okay, so back in March of 2019, the Auschwitz Museum had to publicly warn people to stop posing for photos on concentration camp railway tracks, a problem that the museum felt they had to address. The museum tweeted at the time, "When you come to Auschwitz Museum, remember you are at a site where over 1 million people were killed. Respect their memory. There are better places to learn how to walk on a balance beam than the site which symbolizes deportation of hundreds of thousands to their deaths." The tweet went viral and also featured photos that showed people walking along the railway tracks just So, oh my god, let's just take a cute photo at Auschwitz. Like, no. Don't do that. That's very offensive. The museum didn't ban photography, but instead encouraged people to take photos that commemorate the victims without being disrespectful. Like this photo they shared to their Instagram. In at 10 we got the Replica Baby. You've probably heard of the Ingham family, and if you haven't, they've got 1.2 million subs on YouTube. Well, the Ingham family had a baby this year. Yay, exciting. But unlike most normal people, they made a very realistic, lifelike replica of their 4-month-old baby, and they were selling it to fans for like $425 US. I guess it's like a thing for people to be like into super realistic dolls. I've never understood that. Dolls creep me out, but honestly, who wouldn't be weirded out about a lifelike replica of someone else's baby? That is the stuff of nightmares. And $425? Like hell no! In at 9, we got Don't Go to Santorini. Haley Pham is a 19-year-old YouTuber with more than 2.2 million subs. She got a ton of backlash after she uploaded a video urging her followers not to visit Santorini in Greece because she didn't like it. You know, the absolutely stunning, picture-perfect island of Santorini that anyone would be lucky to visit. Yeah, that's Santorini. Haley said in her video that she highly discourages anyone from going to Greece because the country's economy and government were struggling, and also that there's nothing to do. But Haley, wouldn't telling people not to go to Greece hurt their economy even more? One of Santorini's main industries is tourism. That and fishing. Needless to say, her video, which is now deleted, was not received well. Many people who had been to Santorini and loved it called her spoiled and entitled. I guess at the end of the day, she's entitled to her opinion. She's also entitled. Just a little bit. Alright, in at number 8 we got Hunter Mama. Influencer and mother of 3 Lucy Rose Jane came under fire in 2019 for her quite graphic photos and often scantily clad photos that show her posing in very little clothing with the carcasses of animals that she hunts herself. She was forced to speak out after getting death threats online. According to Lucy, she and her family eat the animals they hunt because they're against eating meat from a factory farm. She also teaches her children to hunt their own food because, quote, hunting wild meat is ideal, organic, and sustainable, and the animals she hunts are living a good life rather than spending their lives in factories. I guess that makes sense, but some of her critics were against her hunting in general, while others were offended by the graphic and scandalous photos. Like, I mean, you don't gotta show a bloody ram that you just killed in a sports bra. Like, I feel like that's a little unnecessary. It's just, there's a lot of blood and there's a lot of cleavage. Two things that should not go together. In at 7 we got influencer freebies. In November of 2019, Love Island star Cassie Laine was exposed by a Sydney, Australia rooftop bar after she messaged them and asked them for a free dinner and drinks as part of an influencer collab. Slim's Rooftop even shared the screenshots of the DM. Hey guys, I was wondering if you ever do influencer collabs. It's my friend's birthday tonight and I would love to bring him and my sister to dinner and drinks. Love your venue. To which the bar responded, hi Cassie, no we do not do influencer collabs. The staff, suppliers, and banks don't accept posts instead of cash, so in order to pay them, we only take dollars. Dollar bills, y'all. The influencers with 2 to 3 million followers who frequent seem to be cool with that. In Cassie's defense, she's probably been offered a lot of free stuff before, which is why she thought it would be okay to ask for free drinks and dinner, but like when you think about it, how much is that really gonna cost you, dude? Like $200? You can afford it, especially if you love the venue as much as you say you do, Cassie. Cassie? Or should I call you Karen? In at 6 we got domestic violence prank. Sebastian Bales and Lauren Goodwin are TikTok influencers that were called out by YouTuber Curtis Connor for their prank, where they yelled at each other and used fake blood for a video. They were essentially pranking their friends into thinking that they were in a physically abusive relationship. But it's just a prank, bruh. This prank was actually becoming a bit of a trend online, a trend that is most certainly not funny. Curtis Connor then fundraised $10,000 for a domestic abuse charity. He actually raised close to $17,000 so far. Sebastian's video is still up. It's called Fighting in Front of Our Friends Prank Bad Idea, and the comment section is filled with people urging Sebastian and Lauren to donate money to charities for survivors of domestic abuse. Sebastian claims he only made $73 from the video. In at 5 we got the Octopus Attack. A Chinese vlogger shared this video to social media that shows the potential dangers of eating a live octopus. Basically, she tried to take a bite and the octopus like latched onto her face with its suction cups. The only reasonable thing to do in this situation is cry and try to rip the octopus off your face, but it was stuck on so hard that when she finally did get the octopus off her face, it left like this cut. Of course, in Asian countries, it's not totally uncommon for people to eat live seafood. It actually tastes the most fresh if it's live. Oysters are alive until you shuck them. But for people who are against that type of thing, you know, like the eating things while they're alive thing, it was pretty satisfying to watch this octopus practically suck this food blogger's face off. Many people criticized her for trying to eat a live animal in the first place. It was quite satisfying. She was crying a lot. In at 4 we got the worst reviewed makeup artist. You've probably seen this challenge on YouTube where people go to the worst reviewed salons or restaurants in their area and they film the experience and the aftermath. In July of 2019, beauty YouTuber Marielle Marrero went to the worst rated makeup artist in Vegas. She reported that she had a bad experience and even got a skin infection. With the case of this challenge, creators don't name the establishment they go to because a bad review like this can literally ruin everything for a family-run business. Marrero filmed the outside and inside of the salon extensively, which means that people could easily find it. Interestingly, she was then called out online by the salon after the makeup artist's daughter, Tiff, saw her video. She claimed that Marrero was lying about how clean the salon was and a quote, bacteria-infested makeup kit. Tiff claims that Marrero staged the whole thing for clicks, adding that her mother has a limited availability because she has a 17-year-old daughter with special needs that she now won't be able to take care of thanks to her YouTube video. Yeah, that's bad. At number 3 we got the model who lied about being transgender. 20-year-old model Carissa Pinkston, who's best known for being one of the faces of Rihanna's Savage Fenty brand, went viral for comments on Facebook where she said trans women aren't real women. She said being transgender does not make you a woman, it makes you simply transgender, adding it does not make you a woman in a transgender context according to transgender and sex. This is how they want to be perceived. In a biological context there are females and males. This is the world in 2019. So then later, after the backlash, she claimed to be transgender herself and her comments were a direct reflection of her inner insecurities. But friends of Carissa Pinkston came out to say that she was lying about being transgender. The whole thing was just like this huge mess. I don't even want to touch it. It was really hard for me to understand. I had to read 7 articles. Carissa then made a bunch of apology posts about it and then she contacted Insider to say that she panicked and made a hasty response about being transgender herself after she got death threats online. She just kinda sounds like a liar. You sound like a liar! Why you gotta lie? In at 2 we got mass suicide with a side of cheese. Chantal is a mukbang YouTuber called Foodie Beauty and she caused a huge stink online when she uploaded a video of her eating cheese and talking about mass suicide. She also included photos and videos of a crime scene in the video. You gotta admit, eating cheese and then talking about mass suicide in one video, it doesn't really correlate. If you're talking about a sensitive topic, you gotta treat it as such. Anyways, Chantal got such bad backlash she was forced to remove the cheese video. Here's a tweet that perfectly describes why people were so mad. Imagine sitting there flashing pictures of dead bodies on the screen while you stuff your face talking about the price of Nikes. She is literally sitting there talking about mass suicide and mid-sentence stops to give a review on how the cheese tastes. Yeah. That's bad. You went too far and you got exposed, Chantal! And at number 1 on our list we got the deadly weight loss influencers. 3 British influencers Lauren Goodger, Zara Holland and Mike Hassini were caught on camera in an investigation by the BBC agreeing to promote a fake weight loss drink. The drink contained hydrogen cyanide, which if you didn't know, can kill ya! It baffles me just how far some influencers will go for a paycheck, but this shows just how far. All 3 of these influencers said that they would promote the deadly drink through Instagram ads. It was a fake drink, by the way. It was just an experiment to see how far they would go. After these influencers got a lot of backlash online, they did respond. Holland said in a statement that she didn't know what hydrogen cyanide was. One of Goodger's reps said that she was offered a lot of money to attend the meeting that was filmed, so it was kinda staged and they were goaded into doing it. The rep added, as with any audition, you people please and say what they want to hear. Yeah, okay, no, I go to a lot of auditions and you say you'll do things like, I don't know, tap dance or horseback ride, and then you learn how to do it after you get the job. You don't put people in danger by agreeing to promote a drink with hydrogen cyanide in it. He's off at number 10 with the chickadees. A Scottish group of girls called the chickadees were exposed and called out for creating a group whose sole purpose was to make fun of other women's bodies and outfits. These women would share photos of women they didn't like or were jealous of amongst the group and just basically trash talk them amongst each other. Here's a screenshot of a photo and a reply to that photo. She looks massive in that. Another one. Why the fuck she got a bra on with that? That's weird. So weird. I hate when people do that. Must have tiny That one's worse. Many of the bullied women were women they knew from the Lancaster area. When they found out that they were being bitched about in this group, they hit back on Twitter and exposed them. This is some like mean girl burn book type shit. It's one thing to have like negative thoughts about other women because you're jealous or you feel bad about yourself. It's another to actively bring them down amongst your friends. Ladies, do yourself a favor and hang out with other women that lift women up instead of cutting them down. I promise you'll be a lot happier. I think we all do that like instinctively. Like we just like want to cut each other down. But I mean, like this is just like a whole other level of like petty and rude. At number 9, we have only light skin tones. YouTuber and influencer Summer McKeen was called out after a collaboration with the makeup brand Nude Sticks. Her line only offered shades for those with lighter skin tones, people like McKeen. Needless to say, people were not happy about it, and they were also unhappy about the price point, $70. In this day and age, if you're gonna like create concealers or foundation, you really have to include multiple shades. Shades that include all skin tones. People were also upset with how she chose to handle the criticism. She deleted negative comments on YouTube and Instagram. Nude Sticks actually responded to the backlash in a statement that said, "It is really important to note that the Summer McKeen collaboration is only a selection of Summer's favorite shades and textures that she loves wearing personally." Then why is she doing a makeup collaboration for other people? Like honestly, go to Bite Beauty and make yourself a lipstick. Don't create an entire line of makeup as a collaboration and then sell it to other people. Anyways, they continued and said, "All our products are available in various shades individually for our customers that span different ages, genders, and ethnicities, and that is something we are very proud of." Just saying. I don't know. What do I know? I'm not making any makeup, but as far as I know, you should probably include more than one shade. At number 8, we got Hanky Panky in exchange for housework. Brie Dietz on Instagram is a mother of 2 and a wife. She posted this viral image to Instagram with the caption, "Nothing hotter," that shows her kissing her husband gleefully. Her husband is holding a sign that says, "Helping with the housework so you can get lucky is called chore play." Or it's called being in a marriage. Your husband should help you with the housework because we don't live in the year 1960 anymore. The photo was mocked savagely online for perpetuating gender stereotypes and also rewarding husbands who do the bare minimum. There were a lot of people who also turned this picture into a meme. Helping with the housework is called being someone's partner / spouse. Yes. And my personal favorite, simply help. At number 7, we got the toxic lake. Instagrammers were called out for posting selfies at a toxic turquoise lake in Siberia. The lake is a beautiful shade of blue, but that's not from natural causes. The lake has a high level of pH because it's full of metal oxides from coal ash. That did not stop several influencers from going to the lake, swimming, posing on floaties, and paddle boards. The water is not safe for swimming and does have levels of radiation in it, and a Russian energy company had to warn people to stop visiting. Influencers, do you not understand that you are swimming in a toxic dump? It's a pretty lake though, you gotta admit. Just bring up the saturation on a regular lake. Like, I don't see why you have to go all the way to a toxic lake and risk your life. Anyways, at number 6 we have holy water. An influencer couple came under fire in August of 2019 after they posted a video showing one of them splashing the other's butt with holy water at a sacred 15th century temple in Bali. Zdenek Sluka lifts up Sabina Dolezkalova's skirt and splashes water on her bottom. The video, which was deleted off their Instagram page, was shared by a Balinese politician, where it got a ton of criticism for being insulting to Indonesia. This couple successfully insulted an entire country with this video. The couple, who were from the Czech Republic, apologized for the stunt, adding that they didn't know it was holy water or sacred. Yet they visited a site called the Sacred Monkey Forest. The stunt actually led to the Balinese government issuing a harsh warning to tourists who failed to be respectful of their sacred sites. If you do this, you will be sent home. Just don't do it! If possible. I know it's hard. At number 5 we have Jerry. You may be familiar with the Instagram account Jerry. It is a hugely popular meme account run by influencer and entrepreneur Elliot Tabeel. Elliot was exposed for stealing other people's content and posting it as his original content without giving credit. The account profited off of other people's creative works like comedians' jokes to help promote products. Because the account had millions of followers, these posts would make Jerry Media tens upon thousands of dollars. Jerry Media made a statement in response and vowed to respond to creators that reach out to them about posts they've made, because apparently they failed to do that the first time. At number 4, the influencer who took selfies in North Korea. Lisanne Gutierrez, who once sued Chris Brown, drunkenly posed wearing a stolen North Korean army hat on a train. She then went back to her hotel room and took pictures naked. Why is this a problem? Well, selfies are banned in North Korea for a reason, and she actually risked getting arrested. North Korean border guards looked through her phone to inspect photos before she could leave North Korea, but thankfully they didn't check the album containing these pictures. Many people online called her disrespectful of North Korea, but she insists that she didn't know. At number 3, we got influencers at war. Back in October of 2019, 2 influencers based in Sydney, Sophia Aaliyah and Nicole Shiraz, were at war. Whatever influencer war means. Aaliyah ended up being exposed for being a highly paid escort who made $15,000 a week. Shiraz cut her out of their business venture, which was a range of sunglasses called Shade that they were supposed to launch together as friends. Shiraz launched the brand without Aaliyah and named the brand Shiraz after her. Sophia Aaliyah hit back and said that Nicole was discriminating against her despite the fact that she took money from her to start the brand. Nicole responded that she was surprised to find out her friend's profession after she thought she was just a makeup artist, but argued that she didn't actually have an instrumental role in starting that brand. She added that Aaliyah didn't actually contribute any money to the project other than to a domain name that she never used. At number 2, we have Dan Bilzerian. If you don't know who Dan Bilzerian is, I don't know how you don't know who he is, but anyways, he's this Instagram star who's famous for posting lots of photos and videos like this. He shows off his lavish playboy lifestyle and all the women that he sleeps with. He's got close to 30 million followers. He's pretty much the best known dude influencer on the planet and is pretty much revered as like a god amongst men. So how did Bilzerian get so rich? Well, he claims that he's a professional poker player. There's a legend about him turning $750 into $200,000 on one trip to Vegas. And then he made $50 million in 1 year by playing poker. But according to news outlets and experts who've studied his technique, Bilzerian isn't actually good at poker. So where did the money come from? According to Vice, his father's criminal history. His father went to prison for fraud and only paid a few million of a huge $60 million fine. The money is gone because Bilzerian's father allegedly moved it around and hid it so that his wife and kids could access it later. Does this stop Bilzerian from living his best life and having sex with as many women as he wants and continuing to grow a huge following online? Not even in the slightest. At number 1, we got what happens in Dubai stays in Dubai. Or does it? According to the blog Traveling Jezebel, a lot of influencers aren't always paid by brands to visit lavish locations like Dubai. They're being brought out there by rich businessmen and are essentially escorts who agree to do disgusting things in exchange for a couple of beautiful pictures on a yacht and a free trip to Dubai. This blogger said that she herself has been contacted by rich men who offer to fly her out for $30,000 to go and party with them. What party means is a really gross fixation that is honestly too gross to talk about on YouTube. I want you to basically imagine like kind of the grossest thing that someone could possibly ask of you in the bedroom. Yeah, it's probably what I'm thinking right now. I'm thinking it, you're thinking it. So some of these influencers have millions of followers on Instagram. Their bios don't look out of the ordinary. They're gonna say things for booking, send an email too. Of course, there are influencers who are the exception. They are legit. The majority of them are legit. But if they're not, they're gonna end up in part 6 of this series. At number 10, we have Chris Schatzel. Chris Schatzel is a Russian YouTuber and influencer who went viral a couple of weeks ago for using the Black Lives Matter protest in Los Angeles as her personal photo shoot backdrop. The video of her posing for photos at the protest was shared on the Influencers in the Wild account, and the comment section was filled with people trying to find her at. What her at though? I just want to talk. I just want to talk real quick. Seeing how over 20 million people saw that video and Chris has over 200,000 followers on Instagram, people kind of figured out who it was pretty quick and they started like tagging her. She quickly made her account private, so instead the mob went to her YouTube channel and were accusing her of using the protest for clout or to just jump on a trendy thing for a cool photo. She recently shared an explanation on Instagram that said, "The backlash I received has been overwhelming. First, I want to say that I have the utmost respect for the Black Lives Matter movement and all it stands for. My intent was to spread the message in the best way I knew how without hurting anyone and show the world the peaceful protest that was happening in LA. It probably didn't help her case though that she was very clearly dressed up for the photo so it would match her like perfect influencer aesthetic. But hey, it is what it is. At number 9 we have Ruby Frank. Ruby Frank is the matriarch of the popular family vlog channel 8 Passengers with 2.5 million subscribers. 8 Passengers being Ruby, her husband Kevin, and their 6 children. Their family is Mormon and known on YouTube for being extremely strict, but after a video was posted that showed Ruby's son Chad admitting that he's been sleeping on a beanbag chair for 7 months as punishment over a couple pranks he played on his younger brother, people were quick to criticize Ruby and her husband and call them out for neglect and abuse. That's right, Ruby Frank was exposed by her own son. They ended up deleting the video in question, but other videos were unearthed and watched with new eyes, like a video where Ruby's 5-year-old daughter had forgotten her lunch at home and Ruby refused to bring it to her and said she had to go hungry because it wasn't the first time she forgot her lunch. Dude, she's 5 years old. I didn't even remember how to tie my shoes when I was 5 years old. Other allegations include Ruby profiting off her children and buying excessive amounts of clothing, yet not permitting her children to buy more than a couple of items of clothing each, and also not being allowed to use a $2,000 bidet/toilet located in Ruby's room. Ruby has not responded to the backlash at this time. At number 8 we have Fiona Moriarty McLaughlin. Facts with Fiona, aka Fiona Moriarty McLaughlin, went viral during the Black Lives Matter movement because she was caught on camera asking a man to borrow his drill, and she pretended to board up a store, where her boyfriend took a photo of it. In typical influencer fashion, she gave back the drill when she got her photo, thanked the man, and then got into a Mercedes and drove off. It didn't take long after the video of Fiona was shared online for people to find out who she was, and a New York Times reporter identified her. She had had previous work as a reporter. Fiona had also used her Twitter account to criticize the protests as well as the defacing of a billboard in LA. Eventually Fiona got fired from her internship with the Washington Examiner over the incident. At number 7 we have Shaolin Lesser. Shaolin Lesser is a celebrity gossip commentator on YouTube that likes to talk about the fact that she used to work at Star Magazine. She combines the world of celebrity gossip and dating advice into her successful YouTube channel, but earlier this year many commentary channels felt she had taken the gossip a step too far. D'Angelo Wallace was the first commentary YouTuber who blew the whistle, and other commentary channels followed suit, including this one. Not only was Shaolin singling out celebrities like Selena Gomez and Pete Davidson, she created false narratives about their lives without sources. She created videos on how to cheat and get away with it. She made fun of celebrities' mental health, and even went as far as to do a psychological assessment on Ellen DeGeneres when she's not a licensed therapist and doesn't have a background in psychology. Oh yeah, and she also said that BTS looked like a group of women. You should know better than to insult the BTS army, like never, ever. Anyways, the YouTube community came down hard on her for her many indiscretions. She didn't really respond and waited until the controversy was over. For the most part, she's been staying out of trouble since then, but hey, I'm watching you, Shaolin. Shaolin. At number 6, Suhaila Ben Lahab. Suhaila is one of several influencers who recently faced backlash for their strange show of support for the Black Lives Matter movement, posting a photo of them in blackface. Suhaila is an Algerian influencer with 1.6 million followers, and she posted this photo showing herself in half blackface. The caption of the photo read, "We're one. Just because we are black on the outside doesn't mean that we are black on the inside. Racist people are the true black heart ones. They are black on the inside, though they do not know it." I'm not sure what she means by that, but I think she was trying to be poetic. Now you can blame it on, well, okay, maybe she didn't know that it would be offensive to do blackface at a time like this, or at any time, frankly, in 2020. But it turns out that a ton of people have been asking her to take the photo down, and as of this writing, it is still up on her Instagram page, so she fully knows that it's offensive and disrespectful. I digress. Halfway there now, at number 5 on this list we have Nessa Barrett. Nessa Barrett is a 17-year-old TikTok star with millions of followers, and well, she does what most TikTok stars do. She dances. But when she posted a video that showed her laughing and dancing to a man singing a verse of the Holy Quran, people called her out and said it was offensive and insensitive. Nessa Barrett said she came across the song on the For You page on TikTok and didn't realize what it was. Nessa was 17 years old at the time. She said in defense of herself, "My step siblings, like my stepmom, is from Egypt and all that stuff, so I know that it could have been taken offensively. I just want to apologize for anyone who took it that way and was offended. I think I'm sorry to anyone that practices that religion." The apology was not enough for some who argued that having a Muslim mom should not excuse what she did. In fact, if she had a Muslim mom, then it kind of makes the situation a lot worse, because she should know better, essentially. Nessa ended up posting a second apology on her TikTok. At number 4 on this list we have Micah and James Stauffer. Micah and James Stauffer are another family that run a popular family vlog channel, and much of that popularity is credited to the adoption of a little boy with special needs from China, called Huxley. The adoption of Huxley made their channel explode in both views and subscribers. It brought on lucrative brand brand deals, and the Stoffers would often crowdfund and ask their audience to pay for Huxley's special needs therapy. But when Huxley vanished from their videos, people started asking questions, forcing the Stoffers to admit that they had, in their words, rehomed Huxley and placed him with a new family that they say is better suited to his needs. The admission was very controversial, as experts say that placing adopted children with other homes can be extremely traumatic for everyone involved, but especially the child in question. Not only that, but they didn't actually use an adoption agency to do the rehoming, so to speak. It turns out the authorities are now investigating the Stoffers, and brands like Fabletics and Playtex Baby have dropped them from their roster. In at number 3, Newfound Musa. Newfound Musa, who is known online as Sophia Taloni, made headlines in the spring of 2020 after she told her followers to download gay dating apps in order to locate gay men, because gay dating apps show you where gay men in your surroundings are. She said that the purpose of this was to show how many gay people are in Morocco but hiding it, in an effort to humanize homosexuality. But as a member of the LGBTQ community herself, a transgender woman, I am not sure how she thought this was a good idea. Morocco is an Islamic country where same-sex activity is illegal. As a result, Moroccan men on dating apps were tricked by people catfishing them into sharing intimate photos that were posted online. Some of these gay men were thrown out of family homes during coronavirus lockdowns, and several were blackmailed. Musa said her intention was not to target or out gay men, her intention was to bring them into the mainstream in Morocco. Getting close now, number 2 on this list, Marina Balmasheva. Russian influencer Maria Balmasheva, who has over 400,000 followers on Instagram, sparked outrage when she announced that she was in love with and engaged to 20-year-old Vladimir Shavirin, who used to be her stepson. The photo that really upset people was this photo she posted. It shows her and Vlad when Vlad was only 7 years old, and her and Vlad currently when he's 20. I think actually seeing how drastic the age difference was, even if they don't look that different in age now, needless to say, it was like a step too far. I mean, the woman watched him grow up. She didn't change his diapers, but she probably saw him bathing and stuff like that. Like, it's weird. It's fucking weird, man. To add insult to injury, she adopted her ex-husband's 5 children when they were together. So if she marries Vladimir, she would not only be their stepmother, but also their sister-in-law. This one definitely makes the Lannisters seem like saints. One has to wonder how someone can grow to love someone that they've known since they were a child, when they themselves were an adult. At what point did she become attracted to him, and at what point did she fall in love with him? And also, did she leave her ex-husband for his son? Alright, the moment you've all been waiting for at number 1, no surprise here, we have Doja Cat. Miss Doja Cat was at the center of controversy when videos of her in a tiny chat room went viral. The rumor was that Tiny Chat was a racist chat room used for white supremacists, and Doja was often seen acting sexy for the men on camera. Then an old song by Doja called Din Do Nuffin was leaked online. Din Do Nuffin is a racial slur used to refer to victims of police brutality. More allegations surfaced, and before long, people accused Doja of hating her own race. Doja is half black, her mother is Jewish, and her father is South African. The hashtag Doja Cat is cancelled started trending on Twitter, and eventually, after days of speculation, Doja went on Instagram Live to release a statement. Essentially, she debunked all the claims, except of course the claims that she would go into chat rooms and essentially act like a cam girl for random strangers on the internet. If you watch my video Doja Cat is cancelled explained, you know my stance on this. The only thing Doja Cat is really guilty of, in my opinion, is being a bit of a freak. But regardless, some think that she shouldn't be behaving in certain ways because young women, especially young black women, look up to her.